Hello, this is Angela McFarlane and you're stamping with aMac. I've got a bit of stuff everywhere this morning because I'm not really sure where I'm going with this card that I'm going to make. I have looked at this card in the catalogue and I'm sort of going to case that. But I'll use a few different bits and pieces and change the colours and stuff. So I'll take you through this journey of making the card using the Forever Greenery Suite. Now, the bundle consists of this stamp set and matching dies, and I just love them. The versatility is fantastic. And this little gold piece here comes from the Specialty Designer series paper. So you get a pack which has 3 lots of these sheets, and these are already cut up individually, so that's really handy to work with. But you've also got 3 sheets of these labels and fern leaves and accents and stuff that you can use as well. So there's 6 sheets in total, and they come in a gold color on one side and then they're white on the other, or sort of creamy on the other side. Then you can actually color these to whatever color you would like as well. So I'll be using these. I think in the catalogue they put it on a note card, but I will be using a standard size card. And I've changed the colours a little bit because I'm going through a bit of a blue being my favourite colour phase at the moment, and the Misty Moonlight is just an absolute gorgeous colour. Now I've also prepared the bits and pieces using my embossing folders. So this was done using the Greenery embossing folders. There's 2 really cute folders, and these are designed for the new mini machine that's coming, but they're great to use for a little bit of extra texture as well. So I'll get started. Now, to attach this bit of gold foil, I think the easiest thing to do is to use a little bit of Tombow glue, and less is more. And because I'll have a lot of other elements stuck to the top of it, I'm not too worried about having much glue on this at all, because everything else will keep it stuck down. So I'll put a tiny bit around the edges, and you want to be very sparing with the liquid glue because you don't want it squeezing out everywhere. So I've just put it on around the edges, and I will lay that on my card. So there we go. I'm happy with how that's stuck down. Now, just to save a little bit of time, I've pre-stamped and pre-die cut a few of these images. So I think I'll just sort of sit them on my card. And please leave comments for me. I can't see the comments as I'm filming, but I will read through them after I'm done. And I think I'll sort of arrange them something like that. And then my little accents will pop on there. Might actually drop that down a bit further so I don't cover that up. When I've got a little bit of a general idea of where I'm going, then I'll sort of pull out one bit at a time and stick it down. And I'm loving my liquid glue for these bits and pieces. So I will sort of just pop that one up there because I don't want all these pieces hidden either. And I hope you're all keeping warm today too. We're a little bit soft up in Queensland. We're not used to this cooler weather. Even though I grew up in Stanthorpe, I have climatised to the Gold Coast, and I am feeling the cold. Speaking of Stanthorpe, I'm off to Stanthorpe this weekend. I've got a workshop taking place in the town hall at Dalveen, and Dalveen is the tiny little town where we actually had the farm and where I went to primary school. And so we'll be able to social distance in the hall because there'll be plenty of space. Okay, so this I'll just put so it's going a little bit over the edge there, so you can actually see it. And I'll just add this little element to the bottom, and I might actually go over the edge here as well just to give it a little bit more character and fill the empty space in. I think this is meant to be almost, well, it reminds me of wattle. I'm sure it isn't, well, but it could be wattle. If you stamped it in yellow, you could use it as wattle. So now that I've got that there, I think I'll go across like that and we'll pop a greeting there. So the greeting I'm going to stamp in Misty Moonlight, and I'll just ink it up. And just remember, these ink pads are super juicy, so when you're inking your stamp up, you only just want to touch the surface of your ink pad, because you don't want to get ink all around the edges, because then when you stamp, if you stamp a little bit heavier, you may get ink all around the edges, which you don't want to do. Okay, I think I've got that pretty straight. Now I will also, because I've cut a little bit of a slant on the embossed piece here, I think I'll do it on my Very Vanilla as well. I'll just close my ink pad. Another thing that I've found with these ink pads, I'm a little bit lazy when I close them and I click them down, and sometimes they don't click right down, so that's something to be mindful of. Like if you're clicking and shutting your ink pads like that, make sure they are clicked in place properly so they don't dry out on you. I haven't had any dry out, but it is a possibility if you don't close them properly. So I'll just cut that at a bit of an angle. I think I'll cut it at a bit more of an angle so my angles match, because I might be a little bit OCD. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So then I think I'll also cut that way. That'll do. Now I'll have to do it with this one as well. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going with this exactly, so bear with me. I've normally pre-made a card and then I can sort of see what I've done, but this one I'm winging it today. So we'll see how it turns out. Okie doke. Now I'll go a little bit off onto my Very Vanilla there as well. And I think I will pop this bit up on dimensionals. Just a couple will do. So yes, back to Stanthorpe. If you think it's cold today here, imagine what the weather is doing in Stanthorpe. And I'll certainly be taking my winter woolies with me on the weekend. I won't use this one. I possibly could have, but no, I don't think I will. I'm happy with that, how it is. Now, just to add a little bit of something extra, I'll add some of this beautiful ribbon, but I will colour it Old Olive. So I'll just grab a scrap bit of paper, I'll pop my card out of the way, and I get my Stampin' Blends. And don't forget, you've got a thin end and a thick end, and for colouring ribbon and stuff I would use the thick end. And I've just pre-tied my bow before, so I knew how much to sort of colour in, so I'll just run that along and that'll pick up the colour of my alcohol marker of the blend pen. And it's up to you how dark you want to make it. I'm actually using the light olive for this. And when closing my pens, I always sit them on the bench and click them together that way so I don't ruin the tip as well. So then I will tie my bow, and hopefully I won't get ink all over my fingers because it is the alcohol markers. They do dry pretty quickly. So I'll see if I can get a nice bow happening. No pressure on a Facebook Live. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. And once again, I'll just trim my ends up a little bit, and I'll go same length at the other side. And I've got a little bow ready to attach this. And I think this is a perfect saying. You can do this. Perfect saying, greeting for encouraging someone for whatever they might be trying to do, or if they're trying a new venture, or they're sitting for exams, or anything that they're doing. So there we have it. That's a pretty simple card. I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. In the catalogue, they actually use the reverse side of the foil, of the golden foil, but I wanted to use the golden side. And they also use the golden hoops, which unfortunately are on back order at the moment due to the whole COVID situation and unforeseen circumstances and all the rest of it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this and have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching. Happy stamping, and please leave me a comment or share if you like. Thanks again. Bye.